It does feel like the energy that was running the numbers up over the last 5 years might be plateauing. That doesn't mean dropping, and it's funny because a lot of people, if it's not growing like crazy, they think we're in this terrible free fall. It's like, no, it just looks like it's flattening, and truthfully, if it flattens anywhere over 17 million, no automaker is officially allowed to complain. Let me make that clear. Anyone who's listening out there, any automaker CEOs at 17+ million annual sales, if we hold there for the next year, 2, 3 years, you can't be unhappy. That's a lot of cars being sold.
Fair enough, yeah.
Carl, let's talk about the EV market. We were just talking about Tesla, 276,000 orders placed in the first 36 hours, but we're also looking at an increasingly crowded market with Chevy's Bolt coming online, Nissan's new Leaf coming out. How do you expect all these cars to compete?
I think the most interesting thing about the Tesla demand is that it proves undeniably what I think Elon hoped, and so does Chevy and Nissan. If you can offer a roughly $30,000, 200-plus mile range electric vehicle, there's demand for it. And there might be more demand because of the mystique and the styling related to the Tesla model. But there are plenty of people out there ready to give a 200-plus mile range electric vehicle a try. And it's going to bode very well for the Bolt and the Leaf, as you mentioned, because they'll be available first. And it will be interesting to see how many people get them and maybe we're interested in the Tesla but find that those cars are plenty, effective for them and go that direction instead since they can get them years earlier.
Yeah, are good enough and they're available. David?
Well, yeah, you know, Carl, am I the only person who is not getting excited by Tesla, right? I mean, everybody seems to be getting so excited. It's a car, right? And it's a car made by a car company. And I would never invest in a car company simply because it isn't a good investment. So are we valuing Tesla as a technology company? Are we valuing it as a car company? If it's a car company, then it's not for me. If it's a technology company, then maybe there might be some excitement there. So am I completely off the market to everybody else in the market?
Tell him he's crazy.
No, I think actually you're dead on, actually. And I've been another person who, as much as there's been a lot of excitement around the Tesla brand and the Tesla cars, I try to remind people of some basic facts, like they've never made a profit. They're over a decade old and they've never made a profit. And that making cars on a volume level like hundreds of thousands a year is a completely different animal than making 50,000 a year or less, especially if they've got to be lower priced and still be profitable, produced at a profit. He can claim tech company status all he wants, but at the end of the day, he has to sell cars. And he also needs the right support system to sell those kind of cars, like dealer and service centers, which are also pretty sparse throughout the country. So there's going to be some uphill battles. It's not a foregone conclusion that, of course, this will be the savior of the company by any means.
So, Carl, fair criticism there, but I have to wonder, we saw long lines out the door on Friday. You say that these orders really are an indication of the interest in electric vehicles at this specific price point. Is the Model 3 what really makes EVs mass market? Because when you look at the market right now, it's still a very small percentage of the larger auto market.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so excited about the Bolt, because it's going to offer the same thing in less than 8 months, and it's going to be a real test of demand for that kind of combination of price and performance.